Welcome back to Data Science course. In this lesson, let us learn about similarity metrics. The similarity is the measure of how much alike two objects are. A similarity measure is a data mining or machine learning context is a distance with dimension representation of feature of objects. If the distance is small, the feature are having a high degree of similarity, whereas a large distance will be a low degree of similarity. Similarity is the measure used usage is more in text related processing techniques. Also, the similarity concepts used in advanced word embedding techniques. We can use this concept in various deep learning applications. Uses the difference between the image for checking creating the data augmentation techniques. The similarity is objective and is highly dependent on domain applications. For example, two foods are similar because the colors or size or taste. Especially care should be taken when calculating the distance across the dimensions or features that are unrelated. The relative values of each element must be normalized, or one feature could end up dominating the distance calculations. Generally, similarity are measured in the range 0 to 1. In machine learning, what this score is in the range 0 to 1 is calculated similar score. Two main consideration of similarity. Similarity is 1 if x is equal to y. Similarity is 0 if x naught is equal to y, where x and y are two objects. Here is the similarity matrix you can see here: Euclidean distance and Manhattan distance and Cavalry and Mingwise and chocolate candy and Pearson, Manhattan, said, Jacquard, Manhattan, Scott, Jenson Hansen, Canberry, Hamming, Sherman, Chisker. These are the metrics we use for similarity metrics in machine learning. You can see it is like some regression problem. This is clustering problem, and this is like a logistic regression problem, and it is a Manhattan is used in Google Maps. Something later we will discuss about all about these things. Euclidean distance. Euclidean distance is the most common use of distance measure. In most cases, when people say about distance, they will refer Euclidean distance. Euclidean distance is also known as a simple distance when data is dense or continuous. This is the best proximity measure. The Euclidean distance between two points is the length of the path constructing them. The Python theorem gives the distance between them. These are the points we can see here. This is the path we can see here: x1, y1, and y2, y2. This is the palm in x-axis, y-axis, and this is some z-axis. By applying the Pythagoras theorem, you can see we can calculate this distance, this Euclidean distance. This is the minimum distance. The Euclidean distance is default distance used in k nearest neighbor, or k means to find the closest points of the particular sample point. Yeah, with this using of this thing we can find Euclidean distance. Uh, this will be helpful in k-means clustering. K-means always use Euclidean distance. K-means clustering minimizes the within the cluster variance, but not regular Euclidean distance, which would be more difficult to ever problems. The mean optimization scale errors, whereas only the geometric median and minimized Euclidean distance. Is is Euclidean distance a class where the most familiar point of the distance measure of is Euclidean distance. The class pair based on a distance measure is direct and simple. The mean class values are used as a class centers to calculate the pixel center distance of use by Euclidean distance rules. What are the three types of distances? Geographical analysis measurement of by looking at three types of distance are linear distance, time distance, and psychological distance. Is MSC is the same as Euclidean distance? The MSE is a measure of the quality of estimate as it is derived from the square of the Euclidean distance. It is always positive value that decrease the error approach zero. What is Euclidean distance NLP? S- Score means the distance between the two objects. If it is zero, it means that the both objects are identical. The following example shows the when the comparing the first sentence, which is the better RMC or MSME. It is a metric for determining how close to a fitted line to be real data points. If the error rate of square root of MS is called roots mean square error. RMSE is a better measure for fit in the correlation coefficient since it can be immediately translated into dimension units. Another one is Jaccard similarity. Is Jaccard similarity is the machine learning? Jaccard similarities can be easily visualized using Venn diagrams, making it one of the easiest machine learning formula to understand. Here we can see here are the two sets. We can see A is A and B. This is the A intersection B, and this is the A union B. Jaccard similarity is equal to A intersection B divided by A union B. This is the Jaccard similarity. What is Jaccard similarity machine learning? Jaccard index is also known as the Jaccard similarity coefficient. It is statistically used in understanding the similarity between the sampled sets. The measurement emphasizes the similarity between the finite sample sets and is formally defined as the size of the interaction divided by the size of the union of the sample sets. How do you interpret Jaccard similarity? Developed by Paul Jaccard, the index is 0 to 1, the closest is 1, the more similarity the dataset. If the datasets are the exact same of the number, their Jaccard similarity index will be 1. Conversely, if they have no measure in the common, their similarity will be 0. By this way, we can calculate by in uh, previous formula A intersection B by A union B. Which is the better cosine or Jaccard? Jaccard similarity is good for cases when duplicate does not matter. Cosine similarity is good for cases where duplication matters. While analyzing this text similarity for two products description, it will be better to use Jaccard similarity. Repetition of a word does not reduce their similarity. What is Jaccard similarity in NLP? Considering that tokens as words in the documents, Jaccard similarity is the ratio of the number of words common to all documents by the total number of words. The value of Jaccard similarity ranges 0 to 1, where 0 indicates the documents are indicates 1 is there is no nothing common in the documents. Nowadays, it is a plagiarism checking or something like that. Document identical checking is a copyright problems. We can use this kind of NLP things. What is similarity? What is similarity measured in NLP? In NLP, question similarity is a metric used to measure the how similar the documents are irrespective of their size. Mathematically, it calculates the cosine of the angle between the two vectors projected in multi-dimensional space. In IOU, Jaccard similarity is same. The interaction of power union, also known as the Jaccard index, is one of the most commonly used metrics in the semantic segmentation and for good reason. The IO is a very straightforward metric that's extremely effective. Cosine similarity. The cosine similarity is the metric, the the normalized dot product of the two attributes determine the cosine similarity. We would effectively try to find the cosines of the angle between the two objects. The cosine of 0 is 1 and it's less than 1 for any other of the angle. It is thus it is as a augmentation of orientation of and magnitude. Two, two vectors with the same orientation have a cosine similarity 1 and two vectors 90 have a similarity of 0. Whereas the two vectors in diametrically opposite their similarity is minus independent of their magnitude. Cosine similarity is particularly used in positive space, whereas the automatic is neatly bounded in 0 to 1. One of the reasons for the popularity of cosine similarity is that it is a very efficient to evaluate, especially for space vectors. Here is the we can see how cosine similarity is cosine similarity is minimum when theta is equal to 0. It means it close to this point. This theta is 0. A or B are nearer. Then cos theta is 0 1. Then it is 1. Similarity is occurred in maximum. And we can see here is an example of data sets. We can see here how it will be measured. Cos theta is equal to a dot a a bar is equal to square root of a square b square so on, and this b square root of b1 square b plus b2 square and so on. This cos theta is equal to a dot b by a a dot b by this thing delta a bar and delta a bar delta a and delta b bar. This is the formula applied for this um, in cosine similarity. Similarity is we can see here similarity is minimum when theta is equal to 0 means it is theta is equal to 0 when similarity is maximum and high similarity and when theta is 90 we can see that is high low similarity. Why is cosine similarity better for NLP? Why do you use cosine similarity in NLP? Cosine similarity is the metric that measures the how similar the documents are irrespective of the mathematically calculate the cosines of the angle between the actors projection in multi-dimensional space. Can cosine similarity be measured the clustering? Many classification and clustering measures depends upon the sum of the measured distance or similarity or distance between the objects. If they do, they can cosine similarity. How do you use cosine similarity in KNN? Using the cosine similarity, KNN nearest neighbor, and we can determine the how similar the different between two sets are used. Determine the classification. Cosine similarity used to calculate the similarity of the distance observations in high dimensional spaces. Which is better, Jaccard or cosine similarity? Jaccard similarity is good for cases where duplication does not matter. Cosine similarity is good for cases where duplication matters. While analyzing the section for two product description, it will be better use of Jaccard similarity as repetition of a word does not reduce their similarity. How is cosine similarity used in machine learning? Cosine similarity is used as a metric in different machine learning algorithms like k-nearest neighbor. For determining the distance between the neighbors in recommendation systems, it is used to recommend movies with the same similarity and used for texture. It is used for find the similarity in the documentation. Later we will discuss the machine learning programs and we will measure the using this kind of machine matrix cosine similarity. Manhattan distance. Manhattan distance is the metric in which a distance between the point is calculated as the sum of the absolute difference of their Cartesian coordinates. In the simple way of saying it is the total sum of the differences between the x coordinates and y coordinates. Suppose we have 2 points A and B. If we want to find the Manhattan distance between them, just we have to sum up the absolute x-axis and y-axis variations. This means we have to find the how these 2 points A and B are varying in x-axis and y-axis. In more mathematical way, saying the Manhattan distance between the points measured along the axis at right angles in a plane with a m1 point p1 x1 and p point 2 x2 and y2. The Manhattan distance is uh, x1 minus x2 plus y1 minus y2. This Manhattan distance matrix is also known as a Manhattan length, rectilinear distance, L1 distance or L2 norm, city block distance or inquiries L1 distance or toxic fabric or city block distance. What is Manhattan distance in KNN? Manhattan distance. The Manhattan distance also known as Jacob distance. toxic orb distance or city block distance. That is because the way this distance is calculated, the distance between the 2 points is the sum of the observed difference of their Cartesian coordinates. Here we can see this. This is the Euclid straightforward distance we calculate by applying Pythagoras distance. Whereas the Manhattan distance is the root. You can see this is something like some routes, some uh, like streets. It is the distance of the streets. It is measured like Google Maps. You can see here A to B point. This is the and this is also Manhattan distance. And how it is useful when some tackling the path points. New class C and class B. Which algorithm is used for Manhattan distance? In KNN algorithm, K is the number of nearest neighbors. Section of K is used for dependent. It is a odd number. Mostly the value K is the square root of n. Distance matrix used in KNN are Minquist, Manhattan, and Euclidean distance. Distance matrix used in KNN are Minquist, Manhattan, Euclidean distance. What is Manhattan distance in AI? Manhattan distance is the distance measure that is calculated by taking the sum of the distance between x and y coordinates. The Manhattan distance is also known as Manhattan length. In other words, it is the distance between 2 points measured along the axis of right angles. Is L1 distance is Manhattan distance? The L1 distance from point A to point B is the city block distance, also called Manhattan distance. There are multiple alternative shortest ways to from point A to point B in the graph. We should go up 2 blocks and then right 3 blocks, or we would go right 3 blocks, then up to blocks and much more. What is mean wise distance in machine learning? Here is we can see my mean wise distance. See it like that. It determines the similarity of distance between the two or more vector spaces in machine learning. The distance metric calculated from the mean-wise equations is applied to determine the similarity of the size. It is also uh, renowned in p-norm vector, which represents the order of the norm. Because we can see this is the mean-wise distance here. Here is the 1 point and p and point 2. It is something like this third point distance like this. Here's the mean-wise distance we can calculate here. If q is equal to 2, the Euclidean distance d is the Euclidean distance. If q is equal to 1, d is the Manhattan distance. You can see here. Here is the Euclidean distance. Here is the Manhattan distance. Whereas Minquist distance is here like this. What is Minquist distance used for? Minquist distance is a distance measured between 2 points in an n-dimensional space. It is basically a generalized of the Euclidean distance and Manhattan distance, used in the field of machine learning, especially in the concept of find the optimal correlation or classification data. It is a clustering data classification. What is the special about Minquist matrix? Minquist is just comparatively simple special case of Laurentine unfold. It is augmentation can for above. Why is K means better than KNN? The main difference between is that KNN is the supervised machine learning algorithm used for the classification, whereas K means is just means is the unsupervised machine learning algorithm used for the clustering. What is Mingwei distance used for? How is Pearson similarity calculated? It is a calculator of K and Kx means here is the Pearson coefficient formula. We can see R is equal to this is the formula for this thing. Here is a regression problem. What is the difference between the R2 and Pearson? The Pearson correlation coefficient R is used to identify the patterns of things coefficient or similarity model. Is Pearson correlation is a similarity measure. Pearson correlation is a most popularly used similarity measure. Collaborative filtering or recommendation system to average much is correlated, while correlation based is the predicted schemes where platforms this suffer from some limitations. Where Pearson correlation is why Pearson correlation is better than the question similarity. The reason is that extremely simple. Two or quantitative reference to different physical entities. The question similarity compute the similarity between two samples, whereas the Pearson correlation coefficient compute the correlation between joint and distribution random variables. The Pearson correlation same as linear regression. A correlation analysis provides the information on the strength of the direction of the linear relation between the two variables, while the simple linear regression analysis estimates the parameters in a linear equation that can be used to predict the values of the variable based on the other. Why is Pearson correlation is used in machine learning? Pearson correlation coefficient helps to find the relation between the quantities. It gives you measure the strength of the association between two variables. The values of Pearson correlation coefficient can be between -1 to 1. 1 measure the area correlation and 0 means no correlation. What is the Canberra distance used for? So, what can we correlation? It is the often used to sort plants and animals into groups that are more closely or distantly related to each other. Although it can be used in out study of biology too. That's all about the metrics. Some important metrics in machine learning, similarity metrics. Thank you.